I'm Peter Jennings. Good night from Normandy.
From KTEN Television, this is News 10 Now, the early edition. With anchors, Jack Shipe, Georgianne Limberopoulos. Weather with Chief Meteorologist John Basham. And sports with Steve Ramsey. This is News 10 Now, the early edition.
A man accused in the death of his young stepson says he'll make a plea in the case, then changes his mind. Charges are filed in a weekend shootout in Wewoka, and Texas Democrats converge in Fort Worth. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jack Shipe. Thank you for joining us for the early edition of News 10 Now. Those stories are coming up, but leading our newscast tonight, a verdict is handed down in Fannin County for a Bonham man charged in the death of his infant son. Keith Bartlett was found guilty in the killing of 4-month-old Travin Bartlett in March of 1993. He has been sentenced to 10 years probation in the case. Earlier this week, both Bartlett and the child's mother, Brenda Bartlett, testified that they were unaware of the infant's serious injuries until 2 days before the baby was taken off life support at a local hospital. Brenda Bartlett is also expected to stand trial in the child's death. Meanwhile, a Johnston County man charged with the beating of his stepson enters a plea yesterday afternoon, then changes his mind. Johnson Wisdom, charged with the February death of 3-year-old Alton Wisdom, had his attorneys notify the DA's office that he would like to enter a plea. Once inside the courtroom, Wisdom changed his mind and was willing to take his chances with a jury. Defense attorney Paul Falk requested that the judge issue a gag order in the case. Wisdom's first-degree murder trial is set to begin Monday. 2 suspects are charged in Wewoka this afternoon in connection with the weekend shooting. Ronald O'Gwen and Salatio Gordon were charged with shooting with intent to injure. The charges stem from an incident in which authorities a bullet grazed a 16-year-old's head at a party at Wewoka's West Side Community Center. James and Austin Dennis were charged with furnishing alcohol to minors and serving liquor without a license. James Dennis was also charged with 3 counts of assault and battery on a police officer. All 4 men return to court next month. An apparent domestic dispute leaves an area man hospitalized with gunshot wounds, and his female companion says the shooting was self-defense. According to Grayson County Sheriff's Department reports, last night's shooting at the Preston Shores residence occurred after an argument between the couple, during which the woman was beaten. 51-year-old Jean Toney underwent surgery last night at a local hospital. Charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon are pending against the 32-year-old woman, who is out on bond in the case. A sentence is handed down for a Denison man in what authorities say is the largest seizure of proceeds from a personal income tax scam. 44-year-old Michael Lindsay will spend 2 years in federal prison without parole and is to be placed under supervised release for 5 years after his prison term. Lindsay, owner and operator of Refunds Or Us, pleaded guilty in March to filing a false tax claim. In the plea bargain agreement, Lindsay forfeited proceeds from the estimated $460,000 scheme where the names and social security numbers of unsuspecting individuals were used to file false tax claims. Texas Democrats are opening their state convention in Fort Worth today. Party leaders are hoping to rally the rank and file for the November campaigns. For the man atop the party's ticket, Senate nominee Richard Fisher, it's also a chance to erase any lingering doubts Democrats have about his credentials. Fisher is seeking to unseat Republican Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison, the winner of the 1993 special election in which Fisher was an unsuccessful candidate. Hutchison was in Paris, Texas this morning as she makes her campaign swing through the state. Well, still ahead on the early edition of News 10 Now, a local landmark gets ready for D-Day commemoration ceremonies, while an area veteran of the infamous battle reminisces about his experiences. But first, let's check with Arnold Evans in the Weather Center. Arnold?
Jack, we had a few showers this afternoon move through the area. Those are going to move out of the way, and it looks like we're going to have a very pleasant evening and weekend. I'll tell you more later in the forecast.
Who will be in today's Winter Spotlight, Dave or Kate? Keep watching.
Imagine our friend Kate on TV.
Oh, I hope she wins.
She's had such a rough time with money since Peter died last year.
Didn't he have insurance?
Social Security.
Well, at least she could bury him with that. Don't count on it. Social Security pays only $255. The funeral cost over $4,000.
She had to ask her kids for help. What are people our age supposed to do?
Well, Tom and I got additional life insurance from Colonial Penn.
That's got to be expensive.
No. We each pay only $6.95 per unit of coverage a month.
Nobody would insure me at my age.
Colonial Penn will. They won't even ask about your aches and pains.
No health questions?
None. You can't be turned down for any reason.
I bet they raise your rates every year, right?
No, you're wrong. My rates stay exactly the same.
In the Winter Spotlight, it's Kate! Congratulations!
Kate was due for a win. Sounds like everybody wins with Colonial Penn.
Here's a winning idea for you and your friends. If you're over 50 like me, you can still buy the life insurance protection you need from Colonial Penn. Your rates are only $6.95 per unit per month and never go up. There's no medical exam, no questions about your health. What's more, your benefits never go down simply because you grow older. This plan builds cash value, unlike some veterans plans offered by other companies. Best of all, if you're a man or woman over 50, you cannot be turned down for this protection. To find out more, call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-530-5533 for your free information kit. Operators are here 24 hours a day. That's 1-800-530-5533.
I'm calling Colonial Penn. Get information for me, too.
Call toll-free 1-800-530-5533. You'll also receive this handy guide to Social Security absolutely free. Call now. There's no obligation. 1-800-530-5533.
As the 50th anniversary of D-Day approaches, World War II veterans are being remembered around the world this weekend. They will be remembered in Denison as well. News 10 Now's Lynn has more.
Thousands of World War II veterans are marching into Normandy this weekend, but this time it's on a peaceful journey. 50 years ago, they had to fight Germans to come on to the shores. The tributes that are taking place will observe the many who lost their lives on D-Day in 1944. Thousands of miles away here in Denison, we'll commemorate these events also. And what a better location than at the birthplace of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief of World War II.
We're going to be honoring five survivors of Normandy who live in Denison, Sherman, and Sadler. We'll have a representative of the city who will be here to present them with a key to the city.
The observances will also include a French author from Dallas who was imprisoned as a teenager in World War II. While many people are pilgriming to Normandy this weekend, we have a bit of history right here in our own backyard at the Eisenhower birthplace in Denison. This Sunday, many will come to observe the 50th anniversary of the invasion of Normandy. In Denison, Lynn Waller, News 10 Now.
The stories of the soldiers who fought on the ground during D-Day have been well documented, but an Ardmore veteran has memories from the air. Ed Doney has the story.
It is known as the day that changed the course of World War II. Within a year of the D-Day landings, the invasion of France by the U.S. and Allies, June 6, 1944, the Nazis would surrender. There are veterans with stories from the beach, but Earl Davis has stories from high above. He was a glider pilot in the Air Force that took off with a co-pilot and 8 other men from England around midnight.
No, I didn't know anyone. The first time I met him was when they got in the glider that night.
Earl's role was to guide the wooden English glider through the middle of the night to Normandy, where he would unload a Jeep, a 105-millimeter gun, and 10 rounds of ammunition to an Allied headquarters.
Germans are shooting at us, that's right. That's one of the prettiest nights I've ever seen.
Those of us who have never been in a war could never fully comprehend the fear that consumed those servicemen and women 50 years ago. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning when Earl Davis knew for some reason his plane was going to crash. He and his crew landed about 3 miles inland from the beach. Now they had to somehow find the headquarters in the night.
When you talk about atmosphere, it was more or less fear more than anything else. I don't know how the rest of them, I was scared to death.
It was 5 in the morning before they reached the base. They guarded the area the rest of the day, watching wounded Americans come in as well as German prisoners. Although Earl took the time to relive that fateful day with us, he generally doesn't like to discuss D-Day. Ardmore has been his home since 1947, and now the quiet life, fishing, golfing, and yard work suits him just fine. In Ardmore, Ed Doney, News 10 Now.
In other news tonight, swing music, the tunes from a bygone era. Not entirely, as Doris Winkler shows us in tonight's Senior Report.
Remember how wonderful the big band era was? It seems to have had more lives than a cat. And the man and woman you're about to meet are living proof of just that.
You're on both sides of a 78 RPM.
Chuck Cecil has a nationally syndicated radio show that plays music only from the big band era.
I concentrate on the years of 1935 to 1955, original recordings from that period of time.
Chuck is uniquely qualified to do this job. Not only has Chuck been in radio for decades, he also has a collection of big band era music that's truly amazing.
I have about 60,000 selections to choose from. I wouldn't want to play them all. They're not all that good.
Chuck's show is in its 4th decade, and he says that the reason this show keeps going is not because of nostalgia, but because the music is flat out great.
You know, it's amazing the swinging years appeals not only to older people, it has a broad range of audience in age groups.
Doesn't Chuck's voice sound simply great? You know what he does? He reads Shakespeare out loud for 30 minutes every day. I'm Doris Winkler with the Senior Report.
And when the early edition of News 10 Now continues, Arnold Evans says to expect a warm weekend with a slight chance of showers. He'll have details. And local dignitaries are on hand for ribbon-cutting ceremonies in Bryan County, and it's a real fish story. Details are coming up, but first let's check with Steve Ramsey and see what's ahead in sports. Steve?
Spike Lee has turned up to be in the middle of the Knicks-Pacers big series. We'll have more on that a little bit later. Stay with us.
If you think fans and fireplace inserts are all you'll find at Fan & Flame, then it's time to take a closer look. Come discover a unique world of antiques, spas, and hot tubs, and elegant gift ideas you won't find anywhere else. At Fan & Flame, you'll see a complete line of quality Coleman hot tubs in colors, sizes, and styles sure to please anyone. Yes, we have the best selection of ceiling fans, stoves, and fireplace inserts around. But don't forget about our spas and hot tubs. Fan & Flame, 5308 Texoma Parkway, Sherman.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
It started with a dream, and it awoke something throughout the country. We watched, and we waited, and we wondered, and we looked up.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The dream continues. Today we're helping to build the country's first outpost in space. And once again, we'll be reminded that by reaching for things far beyond us, we discover even more within us.
Look what 48 cents gets you today at Buy for Less. Cook's whole smoked pork shoulder picnic, 48 cents a pound. Limit 3, please. Libby canned fruit, the 16-ounce can, your choice, just 48 cents. And it's gotta be Buy for Less for Wesson cooking oils, 48-ounce bottle, just $1.78. For a lower total food bill every time you shop, it's gotta be Buy for Less.
Well, we saw yet again another typical summer day, very warm temperatures, kind of humid out there, making it very muggy across the area. And you do want to watch out for those temperature-humidity index readings at this time of the year because they were well over 100 degrees across most of the area this afternoon. So you don't want to spend too much time outside. But fortunately, it looks like the humidity is going to decrease over the next couple of days. So perhaps it'll be a little bit more pleasant by later on in the week. Now, the high today across the area averaged out at 86. The low last night, 68. You can see that's pretty much right on the normals of 85 and 65. Records on this date, 96 from 1977 and a very cool 53 from 1970. That would feel very nice right about now. Ada right now showing up with 87. The warm spot, Ardmore, has 86. It's 85 in McAllister. They have seen just a few showers up near McAllister this afternoon, maybe even a scattered thunderstorm up around that area. Also, Denison showing up right now with 87. Sherman has 86. The winds are out of the southeast across the area at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and with this southeasterly wind, that's been bringing up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that has been providing us enough moisture associated with the afternoon heating to give us just a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the area. Humidity at this hour, very high, 65% with those temperatures up there. That puts the humidity index right at about 100 degrees across most of the area. Barometric pressure is at 30.01 and falling. The lake elevation is 619.25, and the lake temperature is 74 across the area. Now, looking at our current surface analysis, you can see this stationary front draped across much of the southern portion of the United States. And what it's done this afternoon, basically, has served as a focusing mechanism to provide just a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity across most of the south central and southeastern United States, associated with this high-pressure system and an upper-level low-pressure system that's situated out over the Gulf. That has been funneling in the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico into our area, providing us with a few showers and thunderstorms. We've actually had much heavier showers and thunderstorms along the northern portion of this front. Now, throughout parts of the southeast today, you can see they once again had quite a few showers and thunderstorms just scattered across, say, Alabama and Georgia and on into northern Florida. Tomorrow, it looks like we're going to have much the same situation, except that this front is going to start to move slowly off to the east, moving much of this shower and thunderstorm activity to our south and also off to our east. So what we're going to see tomorrow looks like it's going to be far more scattered than what we saw today, and we really didn't see a whole lot today, so it really looks like quite a nice day by tomorrow. We've got this frontal system draped across from much of the Rocky Mountains across into the western portions of the United States and on into California. That's going to be affecting our weather later on. It's not really going to do a whole lot other than just sort of dry us out. Now, for tonight, we're looking for partly cloudy skies, a slight chance of scattered evening showers or thunderstorms. Really look for most of those to be dying off already across the area. Low of 68, winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Then for tomorrow, what we're looking for, partly cloudy and warm. Once again, possible thunder showers, but I really don't think we're going to see all that many. A high of about 90 for tomorrow. Winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Then, for the rest of the weekend, take a look at this forecast. It looks pretty darn nice. Partly cloudy skies, warm temperatures. Highs increasing across the area right into about Monday or Tuesday. It looks like by Tuesday, Jack, we may actually see temperatures warming way up there into the mid-90s. That's going to be...
Those 90s have arrived already.
The 90s have arrived, Jack.
A little ahead of summer. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Arnold. We'll check with you at 10. Well, still ahead on the early edition of News 10 Now. Big changes are coming up in Oklahoma girls basketball. Steve Ramsey will have details. And it's rodeo time in Ada, and it's more than just Western-style fun. Proceeds benefit Youth Horizons Unlimited. We'll have details in a moment. Stay with us.
So, where's the boss today?
Picked up his new car.
What'd he get? The BMW? The Lexus?
Neither. He got the Bonneville.
Really?
Said he couldn't see spending 10, 20 grand more. With dual airbags, ABS, leather, CD, and 1,000 down, it was only $329 a month on a Pontiac 30-month Smart Drive.
$329.
He likes bargains.
He likes cars.
See one of these Performance Pontiac dealers nearest you.
Step out for Dr. Pepper.
You can win Foot Locker gift certificates worth up to $70.
And get Foot Locker discount coupons on every specially marked Dr. Pepper package.
Foot Locker and Dr. Pepper, America's winning team.
You're the part of me, that's the heart of me. Out you are just a lonely melody. Together we are harmony. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
Gun show, gun show, gun show. This weekend, the best little gun show in Texas is presented by Three Rivers Gun Show. Guns, knives, ammo, reloading components, jewelry. Buy, sell, and trade this weekend.
Sherman's largest gun show ever, Saturday and Sunday, June 4th and 5th, 9 to 6 Saturday, 9 to 5 Sunday at Sheridan Mall.
That's the Three Rivers Gun Show this weekend. Don't miss it.
Let's compare these two babies. The baby on the left has a beating heart. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left has arms, legs, fingers, and toes. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left can turn and jump and kick. So can the baby on the right. The difference is the baby on the left was just born. and the baby on the right would very much like to be. Life. What a beautiful choice.
A non-profit organization in Ada that provides jobs for developmentally disabled adults is presenting their annual rodeo. This is the 8th annual rodeo for New Horizons Unlimited, and it's a fundraiser that features local and out-of-state talent. Participants will split $12,000 purse, with proceeds of the rodeo going to the daily operation of New Horizons Unlimited.
We have a lot of good professional people, and then the people that work for me down there are real special, and this is a way that you can support them and show them that you're behind them.
The rodeo runs through Saturday at the Pontotoc County Fairgrounds, with performances beginning at 8 o'clock each evening. Ardmore is now the proud home of a travel stop that redefines the traditional highway convenience store. Love's Country Stores Incorporated opened one of their largest travel stops this afternoon with free gifts and food to its first customers. The 5-month construction project has an expanded food service, a way station for trucks, southwestern art, gifts, and even a fudge counter. Love's officials say Ardmore's location provides a convenient one-stop shopping service
The
to
gifts
travelers.
we find is a very convenient package for them to pick up at the same time that they're doing their other shopping.
Although it's not the largest of Love's stores in 6 surrounding states, officials say it's the only location that combines such a variety of services. The Durant State Fish Hatchery is back in full operation after 10 months of major renovation. Ribbon-cutting ceremonies took place with local and state dignitaries at today's dedication. The $1.75 million project took 10 months to complete. It was funded 75% by the federal government, with the other 25% being picked up by the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife. The manager of the hatchery says the newly completed system will enhance the fish population.
We're helping supplement the natural populations of fish in those areas. That way they have continuous crop coming on year after year, and people have hopefully good fishing year-round every year.
The new and improved hatchery covers 90 acres and is the largest of its kind in the United States. Steve Ramsey joins us in sports. What do you have coming tonight?
Well, there's a big change coming up in Oklahoma girls basketball. It's not necessarily a all of a sudden change, but it is something that is definitely going to make a big difference in the next couple of years. We'll have details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Ready for summer? There's nothing like the aroma from a backyard grill, and nothing quite like the fresh, wholesome taste of farm fresh breads. So when you're in the mood for hot dogs, hamburgers, or sandwiches, visit your neighborhood grocer for Frontier Premium Breads and Farm Fresh Bread and Buns. Top off all your great meals this summer with Frontier and Farm Fresh Breads from the good folks at Farm Fresh.
Hi, I'm Roger Mathis for Factory Direct in Ada, Oklahoma. It's been brought to our attention that some of our competitors have declared war on our prices, and it comes as no surprise. How can a retailer compete with the factory? We have no middleman, no national advertising. Why pay retail when you can come direct to the factory and buy top-quality, hypoallergenic beds at 40 to 50% below retail with the best non-prorated warranty in the industry? So if you're not getting the rest you deserve, come to Factory Direct in Ada, Oklahoma, right next door to Walmart.
Gun Show, Gun Show, Gun Show. This weekend, the best little gun show in Texas is presented by Three Rivers Gun Show. Guns, knives, ammo, reloading components, jewelry. Buy, sell, and trade this weekend.
Sherman's largest gun show ever, Saturday and Sunday, June 4th and 5th, 9 to 6 Saturday, 9 to 5 Sunday at Sheridan Mall.
That's the Three Rivers Gun Show this weekend. Don't miss it.
Voted Best Sports by the Oklahoma Association of Broadcasters. News 10 now.
Well, most basketball fans and teams felt the time would come for Oklahoma girls basketball to make that complete switch from 6-on-6 to 5-on-5. The association had let the schools choose their numbers up until this week. The announcement from the Oklahoma Activities Association, it came officially today that beginning in the 96-97 school year, it's been mandated that the complete change begin then. Oklahoma has been unique in the sports, and year in and year out has proved to be one of the most popular for the fans as well. Scheduling, expense, and even controversy among the communities themselves were stated as the main reasons. The mandate was necessitated, and that was just last week when the Mid-America voted to change their popular 6-on-6 tournament to 5-on-5 beginning in 1995. The College World Series beginning in Omaha today. The Oklahoma Sooners, however, will have to sit around and wait for the final first-round game tomorrow night. That will be at 6:30 against Auburn. Meanwhile, Game 1 is in the books. Georgia Tech and Cal State Fullerton got the tourney underway today, and it was a pitcher's game for most of the way until Georgia Tech was able to take advantage of some wild pitching and walk in the first run of the game, 1-0 Tech with the lead. Then in the 7th, Michael Sorrow to the plate. No one on. He leads it off with a home run to left, and that would be all that it would take. 2-0. Georgia Tech ends up with the win over Cal State Fullerton in the first round of the College World Series today. One game in already this afternoon in the major leagues, the sunshine out at Wrigley, where the Cubs, of course, haven't shined much at all themselves. Only 9-17 when in front of their Cub fans. And at Wrigley today, game tied at 1, and Randy Milligan, with one aboard, hits this one into the left field seats. That would be the game winner, 3-1. Montreal beats the Cubs. In tennis now, Jim Courier has been fading in the rankings the last year and a half after controlling number 1, of course, for a long time. But when it comes to the French Open, he's usually around for the distance. It was a semifinal match today with Sergei Bruguera where he was looking for a bit of revenge. Losing to the Spaniard in the finals a year ago, Courier looked good. Here he sets up the nice little stab volley that works for a point and the winner in the second set at 7-5. They were at 1 apiece. Even Bruguera had to applaud for that. Let's pick it up at match point. Courier's backhand will go long, and he loses in 4 sets, 6-3. 5-7, 6-3, 6-3. Bruguera will now face fellow countryman Alberto Ferraciti. On to the NBA now, where the Knicks face elimination in Indiana tonight. But Spike Lee has stolen the show. Ever since he had words from his front row seat with Reggie Miller, he's had some attention of the New York fans. Even they are blaming him for the loss in Game 5.
I was not there on the court trying to hold him like some people on the fan and trying to, like, I lost the game. You know, that's crazy. I did nothing to get him fired up. He just went insane. And so as he got hot, he just started picking me out and screaming at me.
And, of course, Game 6 coming up tonight, just a little bit later right here. And the Knicks fans always looking for someone to blame it on. Quickly, a note in college golf today. After 3 rounds at the NCAA tournament, Stanford and Georgia Tech are tied for the lead. Oklahoma State is not too far back, and there are 6 teams within 6 shots. They will have an exciting day tomorrow. Texas's Justin Leonard, an outstanding round of 63 as a 1-shot lead. 1 round left, and that, of course, going down at Stonebridge Country Club in McKinney.
All right.
We'll have more 10.
Okay, thanks a lot, Steve. And finally tonight, the 2 small children who disappeared from their Ardmore home have been found in Florida. An arrest warrant was issued earlier this week for the father of the 2 toddlers, and we'll have more on that story on the late edition of News 10 Now. That's our report for this evening. Wheel of Fortune is next. For all of us at News 10 Now, have a nice evening. Join us after the game.